talking about servos. Now specifically we're going to be talking about the servos that I'm going to be using in my new Leonardo. Now we touched upon this recently in a previous video when I was talking about sponsorship and how to get sponsored. If you didn't see that video, I'll put the link just there so you can check that out after this video. Now the servos that I'm going to be using are MKS. Now I am sponsored by MKS and I have been for a few years, but I'm fortunate enough that they're actually the servo that I would choose regardless of whether I was sponsored or not, as they're about the only servo on the market that I've found that actually holds up to what I put them through. Now I'm actually quite excited because in that parcel that I received the other day and you saw me open, we had two types of servo. Sure, we have the new 9910 servo, which is specifically intended for F3A and jets, which we'll touch on in a moment. But I'm particularly excited about the brand new 777 servo. Now, I've been using 777s for quite a while now, and they are in all of my aerobatic models and they have worked flawlessly. I'm yet to break a gear, burn a motor, or have any kind of problem with them. Well, here we have the new 777 Plus. What's the difference? Very little, but you can see quite clearly without looking at the numbers what the difference is. That is the difference. The 777 has always been a bit of a big beast. It's always been that little bit taller than standard servos, which meant that for a few of the installations it caused a bit of a problem. Normally it wasn't a problem, but you know, some models are a little bit tight on space than others. That's where the new 777 Plus comes in. It now has standard size and still has the over 40 kilos torque if you're running on unregulated lipos. Now in my case I use power box systems throughout, be it on a Mercury or any other power box. Now they regulate to 7.4, so these are actually going to be turning out 36.5 kilos, and they actually both have the same spec, so despite being smaller it isn't any weaker, and the speed is exactly the same as well. The speed at 0.11 seconds on 7.4 is identical for both. So is it an update? Heck yeah, it's exactly the same servo in a smaller package, which means I'm sure that if it's anywhere near as good as the 777 it was, don't see why it shouldn't be, this is going to be my new go-to servo. Just can't wait to try it and see what it's like, but very high expectations for that. Now the other servo that I'm going to be using on the Leonardo are the MKS XJ series servo. Now these particular ones are the 9910s. These ones have 26 kilos of torque at 6 volts. These only run up to 6 volts, which is fine on a jet because certain components in there can't go at more than 6 volts anyway. So we may as well get a servo that pulls its maximum torque on 6 volts to start with, rather than running it under its maximum capabilities. As well as 26 kilos, this has the speed isn't actually as spectacular as the 777. The speed is about 0.15, but what it lacks on speed it seemingly makes up for in precision. This servo is specifically designed for F3A and jets, so I'll admit that the speed is maybe a little bit slower than I would like, but it's interesting to see what the difference is going to be once it's actually in the model and set up properly, whether that smoothness and precision can compensate for that little difference in speed. MKS have assured me that it does, and that I'll be able to see the difference myself, so I'll reserve judgment on that until I actually get the plane in the air, and I'll let you guys know exactly what that result is once I know myself. I'm actually going to be running the 9910s on all the surfaces, so that's aileron, elevator and rudder, whereas flap I'm going to be running the new 777 Pluses. I'm also going to be putting a few of these in my acrobatic models, so it'll be interesting to see if I can tell any difference compared to the standard 777s or not. Time will tell, and we will soon find out. So until then, keep watching the videos, many more to come, and I'll see you in the next one.